How to Relax by Thich Nhat Hanh. Notes on relaxing. You don't need to set aside special time for resting and relaxing. You don't need a special pillow or any fancy equipment. You don't need a whole hour. In fact, now is a very good time to relax. You are probably breathing in and out right this moment. If you can close your eyes for a moment, do so. This will help you pay attention to your breath. Your body is doing so many things right now. Your heart is beating. Your lungs are inhaling and exhaling air. Blood is traveling through your veins. Without effort, your body is both working and relaxed. Resting. Whenever animals in the forest are wounded, they rest. They look for a very quiet place and just stay there without moving for many days. They know it's the best way for their body to heal. During this time, they may not even drink or eat. The wisdom of stopping and healing is still alive in animals, but we human beings have lost the capacity to rest. Healing. We human beings have lost confidence in the body just knowing what to do. If we have time alone with ourselves, we panic and try to do many different things. Mindful breathing helps us to relearn the art of resting. Mindful breathing is like a loving parent cradling a baby, saying, "Don't worry, I'll take good care of you. Just rest." Awareness of breathing. Your breathing is a stable, solid ground where you can take refuge. No matter what thoughts, emotions, and perceptions are going on inside you, your breath is always there, like a faithful friend. Whenever you're carried away by thinking, overwhelmed by strong emotions, or feeling restless and dispersed, return to your breathing. Bring body and mind together and anchor your mind. Become aware of the air coming in and going out of your body. With awareness of the breath, our breathing naturally becomes light, calm, and peaceful. At any time of the day or night, whether you're walking, driving, working in the garden, or sitting at the computer, you can return to the peaceful refuge of your own breath. Resting poem. At any moment, we can say this small poem to ourselves and take a mini rest. This poem is like a tiny vacation, except that it brings you back to your true home instead of taking you away from it. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. You can even shorten this poem. It works just as well. In, out, in, out. To increase your mindfulness and concentration, gently and easily follow your in-breath and out-breath all the way through. Just sitting and following your breathing can bring a lot of joy and healing. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath all the way through. Breathing out, I follow my out-breath all the way through. Breathing in, I know I am breathing in. Breathing out, I know I am breathing out. In and out. Calm water. Each of us is like the waves, and also like the water. Sometimes we're excited, noisy, and agitated like the waves. Sometimes we're tranquil, like still water. When water is calm, it reflects the blue sky, the clouds, and the trees. Sometimes, whether we're at home, work, or school, we become tired, agitated, or unhappy, and we need to transform into calm water. We already have calmness in us. We just need to know how to make it manifest. Meditation. To meditate means to pay full attention to something. It doesn't mean to run away from life. Instead, it's an opportunity to look deeply into ourselves and into the situation we're in. The first aspect of meditation, stopping. Meditation has two aspects. The first is stopping, shamatha in Sanskrit. We run throughout our whole life chasing after some idea of happiness. Stopping means to stop our running, our forgetfulness, and our being caught in the past or the future. We come home to the present moment where life is available. The present moment contains every moment. Here we can touch our ancestors, our children, and their children, even if they haven't been born yet. We calm our body and emotions through the practice of mindful breathing, mindful walking, and mindful sitting. Shamatha is also the practice of concentrating, so we can live deeply each moment of our life and touch the deepest level of our being. Stop first. If we can't rest, it's because we haven't stopped running. We began running a long time ago. We continue to run, even in our sleep. We think that happiness and well-being aren't possible in the present. If you can stop and establish yourself in the here and the now, you will see that there are many elements of happiness available in this moment, more than enough for you to be happy. Even if there are a few things in the present that you dislike, there are still plenty of positive conditions for your happiness. When you walk in the garden, you may see that a tree is dying, and so you feel sad and aren't able to enjoy the rest of the garden that is still beautiful. If you look again, you can see that the garden is still beautiful, and you can enjoy it. The second aspect of meditation, looking deeply. The second aspect of meditation is looking deeply, vipassana in Sanskrit, looking deeply in order to see the true nature of things. Understanding is a great gift. Your daily life conducted in mindfulness is also a great gift. This too is the practice of meditation. Mindfulness carries within it concentration and understanding. Mindfulness in daily life. Mindfulness is the continuous practice of touching deeply every moment of daily life. To be mindful is to be truly present with your body and your mind, to harmonize your intentions and actions, and to be in harmony with those around you. We don't need to make a separate time for this outside of our daily activities. We can practice mindfulness in every moment of the day, in the kitchen, the bathroom, or the garden, and as we go from one place to another. We can do the same things we always do, walking, sitting, working, eating, and so on, with mindful awareness of what we're doing. Our mind is with our actions. A relaxed position. What is your most relaxed position? Sometimes we think we can only relax if we are lying down, but we can also sit in a relaxed position. Your posture can be upright and not rigid. Relax your shoulders. See if it's possible to sit with no tension in your body. healing energy. If you can sit in meditation on your own, quietly and peacefully, that is already relaxing and healing. Even if nobody else knows you are meditating, the energy you produce is very beneficial for you and for the world. But if you sit with others, if you walk and work with others, the energy is amplified, and you will create a powerful collective energy of mindfulness for your own healing and the healing of the world. It's something one person cannot do alone. Don't deprive the world of this essential spiritual food. Collective energy of healing. Usually, we think of relaxing and healing as things that happen when we are alone. But many thousands of people have participated in collective walking meditation and mass sitting meditation in some of the world's busiest cities. People have walked mindfully and peacefully around the Huan Kim Lake in Hanoi. They have left footprints of peace and freedom on the ancient streets and piazzas of Rome. Thousands of us have sat in silence and stillness in London's busy Trafalgar Square and in Zuccotti Park in New York City. Everyone who participates and everyone who witnesses this collective practice has a chance to get in touch with the energy of peace, freedom, healing, and joy. The collective energy generated on such occasions is a gift that we can offer ourselves, one another, the city, and the world. Cultivating joy. We may think of joy as something that happens spontaneously, but joy needs to be cultivated and practiced in order to grow. When we sit in mindfulness with others, it's easier to sit. When we relax with others, it's easier to relax. The collective energy can help us when we're tired or when our mind wanders. The collective energy can bring us back to ourselves. This is why it's so important to practice with others. At first, we may worry that we aren't doing sitting or walking meditation properly, and we may hesitate to practice with others for fear of being judged. But we all know how to sit and how to breathe. That's all we have to do. After only a few moments of concentrating on our breathing, we can bring peace and calm to our body and mind. We only need to pay attention to our in-breath and out-breath. Just focus on that. That's all it takes to begin to calm the agitation in your mind and body and restore stability and peace within yourself. The concentration of those around you will also support you as you begin to practice. Do this a little bit each day, alone or with others. When you train like this, it becomes easier and easier to return to your mindful breathing. The more you train yourself, the more easily you touch the depths of your consciousness, and the more easily you can generate the energy of compassion. Each one of us can do this. Practicing joy together. We can't try hard to relax, just as we can't use a lot of strict effort to be mindful. When we practice together as a community, our practice of mindfulness becomes more joyful, more relaxed, and steady. We are bells of mindfulness for each other, supporting and reminding each other along the path of practice. With the support of the community, we can cultivate peace and joy in ourselves, which we can then offer to those around us. We cultivate our solidity and freedom, our understanding and compassion. We practice looking deeply to gain the sort of insight that can free us from suffering, fear, discrimination, and misunderstanding. Mindfulness of the body. In our body, there may be tension and pain. If we suppress or ignore this, then every day the tension and pain will grow and prevent us from experiencing the happiness that we should be able to experience. When we have tension in our body, we can't sleep well or eat well. Mindfulness of breathing can help us relax and bring peace to our body. We take care of our body first. We can take care of our mind later. Communicating with ourselves. Sometimes we want to relax because we want to not think. That's wonderful. We all need non-thinking time. But that doesn't mean we should stop listening. When we stop thinking, we can start communicating with ourselves by listening to our bodies and our emotions. With all the technology we have, we only need a few seconds to get into contact with people who live very far away. But true communication with others can't happen unless we stop, relax, and listen to ourselves. Restoring wellness. Releasing any tension and bringing calm to your body is the first step in restoring wellness. You can't heal your body if you don't pay attention to it. Bringing your mind home to your body, you become established in the here and the now. You have a chance to be aware, without judgment, of any pain, tension, or suffering in your body. This is the beginning of healing. Peaceful breathing. When we begin practicing awareness of our breath, the breathing may not be very peaceful. It may be rushed, uneven, or shallow. This is because of the tensions in our body and the sadness and other preoccupations in our mind. Therefore, our breathing isn't peaceful. Breathing in and out, we concentrate just on our breathing. If we continue to practice awareness of breathing, our breathing becomes gentle, deeper, more peaceful, and the state of dispersion in our mind ceases. Here are 3 exercises to bring peace to the breath. The first is to recognize the in-breath as an in-breath and the out-breath as an out-breath. The second is to recognize the length of the in-breath and out-breath. The third is to focus on the breath all the way through. This is concentration. We just observe the breath. We never force it. We allow it to be natural. With awareness of breathing, our breath naturally becomes deeper, slower, and more peaceful. Breathing in, I know I'm breathing in. Breathing out, I know I'm breathing out. Breathing in, I see my breath is short or long. Breathing in, I see my breath is long. Breathing in, I follow my in-breath all the way through. Breathing out, I follow my out-breath all the way through. The sound of the bell. I started inviting the bell when I was 16 years old, the age when I became a novice monk. We say invite the bell rather than strike the bell because we think of the bell as a friend. We want to invite its sound into our bodies. Inviting a bell to sound is one very simple way to relax. When we hear the bell, we breathe in and we breathe out and we take in that beautiful sound. That's it. If we don't have a bell, we can use another sound. A phone ringing, an airplane passing overhead, the chime of a clock, a timer on the computer, or the natural sounds around us. We can even use the sound of a jackhammer or a leaf blower. Breathing room. Do you have a space dedicated to relaxing in your home? This doesn't have to be a big space. It could be a small corner not your bed, or anywhere in a room that is dedicated just to breathing and relaxing. This is not a space for eating or doing homework or folding laundry or building anything. This is as essential as a place to eat, sleep, and go to the bathroom. We need a small space where we can take care of our nervous system and restore our tranquility and peace. Bringing peace to our territory. Each of us has a physical body, as well as feelings, perceptions, thoughts, emotions, and a deep consciousness. These comprise our territory, and each of us is a monarch ruling over our territory. But we're not responsible monarchs. There's disharmony and conflict in our territory. We don't have the capacity to restore peace and harmony. Instead of surveying our territory, we escape and take refuge in some form of consumption. Mindfulness is a practice to give you the courage and energy to go back and embrace your body and your feelings and emotions, even if they're unpleasant, even if it seems they may destroy you. Go back and embrace them and help them to transform. If you're still afraid, ask friends in the practice for support. Practicing walking meditation, conscious breathing, and eating meals in mindfulness, you cultivate the energy of mindfulness, and you're able to reign peacefully over your territory. Lazy day. Most of us have very scheduled lives and very full calendars. But do we have enough lazy days on our calendar? A lazy day is a day for us to be without any scheduled activities. We just let the day unfold naturally, timelessly. On this day, we have a chance to reestablish the balance within ourselves. We may do walking meditation on our own or with a friend, or do sitting meditation in the forest. We might like to read a little, or write home to our family or to a friend. It can be a day for us to look more deeply at our practice and at our relations with others. Or we may recognize that we simply need to rest. When we have unscheduled time, we tend to get bored, seek entertainment, or cast about for something to do. A lazy day is a chance to train ourselves not to be afraid of doing nothing. You might think that not doing anything is a waste of time, but that's not true. Your time is first of all for you to be alive, to be peace. Being peace. The world needs joyous and loving people who are capable of just being. If you know the art of being peace, then you have the basis for your every action. The ground for action is to be, and the quality of being determines the quality of doing. Action must be based on non-action. People sometimes say, don't just sit there, do something. But we have to reverse that statement to say, don't just do something, sit there, in order to be in such a way that peace, understanding, and compassion are possible. Relaxation needs insight. We know that there are those who try very hard to be mindful, and yet they cannot relax. They try to breathe, and they try to walk. They try very hard, and yet they're unable to relax, because trying is not mindfulness. It's not because you have the intention to relax that you can relax. It's not because you have the intention to stop that you can stop. Mindfulness, true mindfulness, must carry within it true view, insight. You need insight in order to relax. Mindfulness of something. Mindfulness is always mindfulness of something. We can be mindful of our breath, our footsteps, our thoughts, and our actions. Mindfulness requires that we bring all our attention to whatever we're doing, whether we're walking, breathing, brushing our teeth, or eating a snack. To be mindful is already to be awakened. If I can say with awareness, breathing in, I know I have a body, that is already insight. Because if we know we have a body, we can know how to take care of our body. If we want to reduce stress and tension, we need to be aware that we've been running a lot. True happiness isn't found in success, money, fame, or power. True happiness should be found in the here and the now. With that kind of insight, you can truly relax. Relaxing in nature. When you walk in the hills, in a park, or along a riverbank, you can follow your breathing. When you feel tired or irritated, you can lie down with your arms at your sides, allowing all of your muscles to relax, maintaining awareness of just your breath and your smile. Relaxing in this way is wonderful and quite refreshing. You'll benefit a lot if you practice this several times a day. Your mindful breath and your smile will bring happiness to you and to those around you. There's nothing you could buy your loved ones that could give them as much true happiness as your gift of awareness, breathing, and smiling. And these precious gifts cost nothing. Healing ourselves, healing the earth. Mindfulness and a deep awareness of the earth can help us to handle pain and difficult feelings. It can help us heal our own suffering and increase our capacity to be aware of the suffering of others. With awareness of the earth's generosity, we can generate a pleasant feeling. Knowing how to create moments of joy and happiness is crucial for our healing. It's important to be able to see the wonders of life around us and to recognize all the conditions for happiness that already exist. Then, with the energy of mindfulness, we can recognize and embrace our feelings of anger, fear, and despair, and transform them. We don't need to become overwhelmed by these unpleasant emotions. Waking up to the moment. Walking meditation is a way of waking up to the wonderful moment we are living in. If our mind is caught, preoccupied with our worries and our suffering, or if we distract ourselves with other things while walking, we can't practice mindfulness. We can't enjoy the present moment. We're missing out on life. But if we're awake, then we'll see this is a wonderful moment that life has given us, the only moment in which life is available. We can value each step we take, and each step can bring us happiness because we're in touch with life, with the source of happiness, and with our beloved planet. Transforming an unpleasant sound. One day, during a retreat in the mountains of Northern California, there was a wildfire nearby. All day long, during sitting meditation, walking meditation, and silent meals, we heard the sound of helicopters. In Vietnam, during the war, the sound of helicopters meant guns, bombs, and death. At the retreat, there were many practitioners of Vietnamese origin who had gone through the war, so the sound was not pleasant for them, nor was it pleasant for the other practitioners. But there was no choice. So we chose to practice listening to the sound of the helicopters with mindfulness. With mindfulness, we could tell ourselves that this is not a helicopter operating in a situation of war, but a helicopter that is helping to extinguish the flames. With mindfulness, we transform our unpleasant feeling into a pleasant feeling of gratefulness. So we practiced breathing in, and breathing out with the sound of helicopters. And we survived very well. We made the sound of helicopters into something helpful, and we practiced. I listen. This sound of helicopters brings me back to the present moment. I listen. This sound of helicopters brings me back to the present moment. Sleeping. When you're in bed and unable to sleep, the best thing to do is to go back to your breathing. Resting is almost as beneficial as sleeping, and you'll know you're doing the best that you can. Bring peace to your breathing and your body so you can rest. Learning to rest. We have to relearn the art of resting. Even when we have a vacation, we don't know how to make use of it. Very often, we are more tired after a vacation than before it. We should learn the art of relaxation and resting, and make some time each day to practice deep relaxation on our own or with others. Leaning on snoring. Sometimes you have to share a room with someone who snores. You may get irritated, but with mindfulness you can bring about compassion. You can lean on the sound of snoring in order to go to sleep. Listen and say that this brings you home to the here and now. Then you can accept the snoring much more easily, and you can go back to sleep thanks to the sound of snoring. Our idea of happiness. Say you have a notion of happiness, an idea about what will make you happy. That idea has its roots in you and in your environment. Your idea tells you what conditions you need in order to be happy. You've entertained this idea for 10 or 20 years, and now you realize that your idea of happiness is making you suffer. Your idea may contain an element of delusion, anger, or craving. These elements are the substance of suffering. On the other hand, you know that you have other kinds of experiences, moments of joy, release, or true love. You can recognize these as moments of real happiness. When you've had a moment of real happiness, it becomes easier to release the objects of your craving, because you're developing the insight that these objects will not make you happy. Many people have the desire to let go, but they're not able to do so because they don't yet have enough insight. They haven't seen other alternatives, other doorways to peace and happiness. Fear is an element that prevents us from letting go. We're fearful that if we let go, we'll have nothing else to cling to. Letting go is a practice. It's an art. One day, when you're strong enough and determined enough, you'll let go of the afflictions that make you suffer. Letting go. To let go means to let go of something. That something may be an object of our mind, something we've created, like an idea, feeling, desire, or belief. Getting stuck on that idea could bring a lot of unhappiness and anxiety. We'd like to let it go, but how? It's not enough just to want to let it go. We have to recognize it first as being something real. We have to look deeply into its nature and where it has come from, because ideas are born from feelings, emotions, and past experiences, from things we've seen and heard. With the energy of mindfulness and concentration, we can look deeply and discover the root of the idea, feeling, emotion, or desire. Mindfulness and concentration bring about insight, and insight can help us release the object in our mind. Solitude. Being in solitude can help us relax. Solitude doesn't mean being by ourselves or away from civilization. Real solitude means we're not carried away by the crowd. by sorrows about the past, by worries about the future, or by strong emotions in the present. We don't lose our stability and our peace. We take refuge in our mindful breathing and come back to the present moment and to the island of peace within ourselves. We enjoy our time with others, but we don't get lost in our interactions. Even in a busy marketplace, we can smile and breathe in peace, dwelling in the island of ourselves. Letting go of worrying. Our practice is to learn to take care of the present moment. Don't allow yourself to be lost in the past or the future. Taking good care of the present moment, we may be able to change the negative things from the past and prepare for a good future. We tend to worry about what will happen in the future. The practice helps us to come home to the present moment, to our body, our feelings, to the environment around us. When we breathe in and breathe out mindfully, our mind is brought back to our body, and we are truly there in order to take care of the present moment. If there's some stress, some tension in our body, we practice mindful breathing in order to release the tension, and that brings us relief. If there's a painful feeling in us, we use mindfulness to embrace our feelings so that we can get relief. The key point is that you are fully there in the present moment, in the here and now, to take care of yourself and what's happening around you. You don't think too much about the future or project too much about how it might be, and you're not trapped too much in the past. You have to train yourself to learn how to go home to the present moment, to the here and now, and to take care of that moment, to take care of your body and your feelings in this moment. As you learn how to be in the present moment, you'll gain faith and trust in your ability to handle the situation. You learn how to take care of your feelings and what's happening around you. That makes you confident. And as your confidence grows, you're no longer the victim of your worries. Happiness is a collective matter. We can learn to handle our own fear and pain. After that, we can help other people because we have direct experience with how to handle the fear and the pain. Suffering and fear are not things that we just experience by ourselves. Our fear and suffering is also the suffering of our parents, our friends, and our society. You are me, and I am you. If something wonderful happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. If something awful happens to one of us, it happens to all of us. This answer comes from the inside of no self. With the inside of no self, you see that your suffering, your fear, is a collective suffering. With the inside of no self, you see that happiness is a collective happiness. We are not separated. Walking your talk. If you practice mindfulness to release the tension, stress, and pain in your body, you begin to feel better. Then, when you see a person who is tense, who has pain in his or her body, you can show him or her how to practice. That person will believe you because you have direct experience. You've walked your talk. That's why it's very important that we're able to do it for ourselves first. Just the way you live your life, the way you react to situations can already be helpful. Other people see you react in a peaceful and kind way, and they already begin to learn from you. Effortlessness. Do we need to make a special effort to see the beauty of the blue sky? Do we have to practice to be able to enjoy it? No, we just enjoy it. Every second, each minute of our lives can be like this. Wherever we are, at any time, we have the capacity to enjoy the sunshine, the presence of each other, even the sensation of our breathing. We don't need to go to China to enjoy the blue sky. We don't have to travel into the future to enjoy our breathing. We can be in touch with these things right now. It would be a pity if we were only aware of suffering. Letting go of stress. Stress accumulates in our body. The way we eat, drink, and live takes its toll on our well-being. Lying down and bringing gentle awareness to our breath, we can realize rest and recovery for our physical body. Find space in your day when you can practice mindful breathing and letting go of tensions. In just 5, 10, or 20 minutes, you can reestablish mindfulness and dissipate stress. When you have trouble sleeping, follow your breathing in and out. Bring your awareness to the different parts of your body in turn and allow them to relax. Sometimes this can help you get to sleep. This practice is still very good even if you don't sleep because it nourishes you and allows you to rest. Life is dreadful and wonderful. Meditation means being aware of what is going on in our bodies, in our feelings, in our minds, and in the world. Each day, thousands of children die of hunger. Plant and animal species are going extinct every day. Yet, the sunrise is beautiful, and the rose that bloomed this morning along the wall is a miracle. Life is both dreadful and wonderful. To practice meditation is to be in touch with both aspects of life. Don't waste your life. On the wooden board outside of the meditation hall in many Zen monasteries, there is a 4-line inscription. The last line is, "Do not squander your life." Our lives are made of days and hours, and each hour is precious. Have we wasted our hours and our days? Are we wasting our lives? When we practice sitting or walking meditation, it's easier to be mindful and concentrated. During the rest of the day, we also practice. It's more difficult, but it's possible. The sitting and the walking can be extended to the non-walking, non-sitting moments of our day. That is the basic principle of meditation. Happiness and awareness. Please do not think we must be solemn in order to meditate. Whether or not we are happy depends on our awareness. When you have a toothache, you think that not having a toothache will make you very happy. But when you don't have a toothache, often you are still not happy. All of us have the capacity of transforming neutral feelings into pleasant feelings. If you're rested and relaxed, all living beings will profit from your relaxation and energy. This is the most basic kind of peace work. Smiling. A smile can relax hundreds of muscles in your face and relax your nervous system. A smile makes you master of yourself. All day long, we can practice smiling. At first, you may find it difficult to smile, and we have to think about why. Smiling means that we are ourselves, that we have sovereignty over ourselves, that we are not drowned in forgetfulness. I'd like to offer a short poem you can recite from time to time while breathing and smiling. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Breathing in, I calm my body. Breathing out, I smile. Dwelling in the present moment, I know this is a wonderful moment. Calming. Breathing in, I calm my body. Reciting this line is like drinking a glass of cool water. You feel the freshness permeate your body. When I breathe in and recite this line, I actually feel the breathing calming my body, calming my mind. Present moment, wonderful moment. While I sit here, I don't long to be somewhere else. I'm not pulled away by the future or the past. I sit here, and I know where I am. This is very important. We tend to be alive in the future, not now. We say, wait until I finish school and get my PhD, then I'll really be living. Once we have it, and it wasn't easy to get, we say to ourselves, I have to wait until I have a job for my life to really begin. Then after the job, a car, and after the car, a house. We aren't capable of being alive in the present moment. We tend to postpone being alive to the future, the distant future. We don't know when. It's as if now is not the moment to be alive. We may never be alive at all in our entire life. The only moment to be alive is in the present moment. Self-healing. We have to believe in our body's capacity to heal itself. The power of self-healing is a reality, but many of us don't believe in it. Instead, we take a lot of vitamins and medicines that may sometimes be harmful to our body. Taking good care of our bodies, eating well but not too much, sleeping and drinking water, we have to trust the power of understanding, healing, and loving within us. It is our refuge if we lose faith and confidence in it. It is our refuge. If we lose our faith and confidence in it, we lose everything. Instead of panicking or giving ourselves up to despair, we practice mindful breathing and put our trust in the healing power within us. We call this the island within ourselves in which we can take refuge. It is an island of peace, confidence, solidity, love, and freedom. Be that island for yourself. You don't have to look elsewhere. Mindful breathing helps you go back to that precious island within so that you can experience the foundation of your being. The war inside. We know that many of us don't want to go home to ourselves. We're afraid. There's a lot of internal suffering and conflict that we want to avoid. We complain that we don't have time to live, yet we try to kill our free time by not going back to ourselves. We escape by turning on the television or picking up a novel or a magazine, or we go out for a drive. We run away from ourselves and don't attend to our body, feelings, or states of mind. We have to go home. If we're at war with our parents, friends, society, or a church, it may be because there's a war raging within us. An internal war facilitates other wars. We're afraid of going home because we lack the tools or the means for self-protection. Equipped with mindfulness, we can go home safely and not be overwhelmed by our pain, sorrow, and depression. With some training, with the practice of mindful walking and mindful breathing, we'll be able to go home and embrace our pain and sorrow. Water over the rocks. The activities of our mind, often unstable and agitated, are like a torrent of water washing over the rocks. In traditional Buddhist literature, the mind is often compared to a monkey, always swinging from branch to branch, or to a horse galloping out of control. Once our mind is able to identify what is happening, we will be able to see clearly our mental state and make it calm. Just that will bring us peace, joy, and stillness. Boat in a storm. Suppose you're on a boat crossing the ocean. If you get caught in a storm, it's important to stay calm and not panic. To accomplish that, go back to your breathing and be yourself. When you're calm, truly your own island, you will know what to do and what not to do. Otherwise, the boat may capsize. We destroy ourselves by doing things we ought not to do. Take refuge in mindfulness, and you will see things more clearly and know how to improve the situation. Mindfulness brings about concentration, and concentration brings about insight and wisdom. This is the safest refuge. The safety and stability your island can provide depend on your patience.